Hey guys, welcome to a new sewing video. So when I was browsing for new fabrics to buy for my stash, I came across this beautiful floral fabric in a very light and airy, almost see-through kind of chiffon-like fabric. I absolutely fell in love with it. I thought it would be perfect to make a blouse. A blouse is something I've never made before. And, I'm still trying to grow and challenge myself and learn new things. And I have made plenty of dresses. I'll keep making dresses. But, sometimes it's good to make something else. So a blouse. But then the fabric arrived. And as tends to happen, it was a completely different color than it was on the website. On the website, on the pictures, it looked like a beige. And the description said soft gray. But it is full-on lilac. Which is fine in the sense that I like this color. I'm just not sure that it looks very good on me. But we'll just have to see, and I'm sure it'll be fine. So this is the fabric and this is the pattern, and I absolutely adore it. It is a very modern yet classic type of floral pattern. I really like these large pastel florals. So I think this will be perfect to make a cute blouse out of. Since I'm trying to use more of the patterns that I already have, because I have quite a stash now, I found that I already have a blouse pattern in my possession and I'm gonna try and use that. And it is from this magazine, and I don't know if you guys remember my first experience with using this magazine was actually the first time I used a pattern altogether, and it didn't go quite as I had hoped. This is like camel toe central right here that I just created. But honestly, looking at it again now, I can understand. I mean, it's pretty much a miracle that it didn't go more wrong than it did, because they give you no instructions. It looks like this, with every pattern just running through all of the other patterns. All the sizes, all the patterns, everything is in one. It doesn't include seam allowance. I'm sure I can do it now. I hope. The most important thing for me right now is to get blouse-shaped pattern pieces, and then I can do everything else myself. So I should have the proper size. Let's start tracing. Okay, I have my pattern pieces ready here. I decided to trace around the pattern pieces so that I know where my sewing lines are, because I obviously had to eyeball my seam allowance and I'm not entirely sure I did that evenly all around. And also because I think with this material, this thin and see-through and flimsy of a material, French seams are probably the way to go. And when you have French seams, it's good to know what the seam allowance is so that you end up with the proper size garment. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and start assembly. I'm probably gonna start at the side seams of the blouse, then do the shoulder seams. And I think I'm gonna put in the little collar before I do the sleeves, but I'm not entirely sure. I'll see what the instructions say on that one, but yeah, side seams first. Time for a little break. I wanted to tell you a little bit about today's sponsor because this video is kindly sponsored by Nordgreen. I am very happy to be working with Nordgreen again. They are a watch company that makes very beautiful, sleek, minimalist, stylish watches with interchangeable straps. And they really make an effort to be sustainable and give back. So this is my newest piece from them and honestly my new favorite. I have worn this loads since I got it. It is an all gold watch face, which is such a unique style. I don't think I've ever seen a watch like this that is just all gold. It is super minimal, very sleek, but every detail is special and I absolutely adore that. So as I mentioned, all Nordgreen watches have interchangeable straps. So this here is the vegan leather, but I also have one of their summer styles here, which is a gold link strap. So let me actually just attach that onto my watch. They have a couple of options, especially for summer. They have nylon straps, rubber, these links, and mesh. All of those straps are perfect for when you're, hot and sweaty in summer, but still want to look nice and be able to keep wearing your watch comfortably. This one is a little big for me. I have to have a couple of links taken out, but absolutely gorgeous, super classy, and with this strap, I can turn it into just an all gold watch, which is perfect because then it'll go with everything. Because gold is my metal now, since I have a wedding and engagement ring. So I already briefly mentioned Nordgreen's Giving Back program. There is a page on their website where you can read everything about all the charities that they donate to for purchases that are made. So that is definitely something worth checking out if you do visit their website, which you should, because I have a little discount code for you guys. Nordgreen are kindly offering 15% off for all my viewers if you use code Loepsie. There is a link in the description box to take you straight to their website. Do be sure to check them out in the link below. Thank you so much, Nordgreen, for working with me again for this video. And now let's continue with this blouse. I completely forgot about interfacing, but I have it here. So I'm just gonna attach that. This is the sticky side. I think I'm only going to attach it to the collar, mostly because I just don't have enough to do the button placket as well, but I also don't think it's super necessary, although I might regret saying that later on, we'll see. But we're making great progress. While I'm here with my iron, I'm going to iron out the pieces that I've already made as well, and the seams, so that everything looks nice. Yeah, I think I'm going to put in this collar first, and then do the sleeves. And then do the buttons. The pattern didn't come with any button indicators, like placement indicators, so I'm gonna have to measure that out myself. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. I'll also have to find some cute buttons, because I didn't get any buttons specifically for this project, but I should. I have a load of buttons. I should have something. One problem I'm having with this fabric, this is the first time I'm working with a fabric like this, such a flimsy see-through synthetic fabric. I'm getting a little bit of puckering around the seams and I'm wondering if I should have used a zigzag seam maybe. I don't think this is stretchy fabric, but maybe it stretches like in one direction or something. It does stretch on the bias for sure, but I might be able to just iron that out, which would be great. So the instructions on how to set in the collar were incredibly complicated. And unclear, mostly just very unclear, but I think I figured it out. So I attached the collar to the outside and then the other collar to the outside of that. So basically when I fold it inside out, I get a complete collar like this. And now I should be able to fold over the seam allowance on the remaining one, like that, and sew it in the ditch. And that should leave me with a nicely finished collar. So I'm just gonna trim my seam allowances here, clip any curves and edges that I have, and do that. And I think after that I'm gonna set in the sleeves and start working on the button plackets. It's a new day and I have attached the sleeves, which means that I am now more or less holding a blouse in my hands, which is insane. Still, just sewing is such magic. I still can't, every time I make something, I'm like, wow, I made this. Attaching sleeves with French seams is not fun, but I did it and I think it turned out quite okay. Let me come up a bit closer and show you. I'm very happy with the guts of my project this time. I think it looks great. I think it's not going to fray, which would be great as well. So I think next up, I'm going to give it probably an iron first, and then I'm going to start working on my button plackets. In order to do that, I'm going to have to pick out some buttons. And I think I'm gonna improvise from this point on and just do it how I see fit, because the instructions, I have no idea what they're saying. It's very, very vague. So yeah, I think I can finish this myself without the instructions. And I need to remove all these markings at some point, because I used an erasable marker, but it is all over my project. So I need to remove those lines as well. Ta-da! The blouse is done! I ended up going with the brown buttons, obviously, and I think that was a good choice. I think, as much as I love the coconut buttons, I think they were just a little bit too rustic for this style of blouse. I am quite happy with how this turned out. I think for my first blouse, it is pretty good. It definitely looks like your normal kind of store-bought blouse, aside from a couple of little things that aren't noticeable at first glance, I think, but when you pay a little bit more attention, they might be. First of all, the sleeves. What is up with these sleeves? Why are they finished like this? I think a blouse needs a cuff, more or less, or at least an elastic or something, but now it's just kind of like this weird open wide sleeve. I might actually add cuffs at some point later down the road. Another thing which I'm a little bit sad about is that this part right here, this bit, which is the ugliest part of the entire garment, is on display pretty much all the time when I wear it like this. If I wear it open, you're gonna see these bits, and these bits are definitely the ugliest bits. Oh, my button plackets are so different. They are not the same width at all, but I'm not too bothered by that. You can only see a little bit of top stitching that is asymmetrical, but I honestly don't think that is too bad. I think it looks fantastic tucked into something. I think it looks pretty good not tucked into something as well. And I just think this is going to be a great addition to my wardrobe. I feel like this will be pretty versatile. I can wear it with many different types of bottoms. I think the color's all right. I don't think it's my best color, but I don't think it is, you know, unacceptable on me either. So next time I make one, I think I'm gonna just buy a pattern again and try and do it properly, because this pattern was just very, very difficult to work with, and I basically had to improvise the whole thing. But you know, considering that, I think it turned out pretty good. So yay! I made a blouse! As always, I will be very happy to hear any tips that you guys may have for me. I learn so much from the comments on these sewing videos, so thank you for that. Thank you very much, much appreciated. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for lots more sewing, fashion, beauty and lifestyle content. I want to give another massive thank you to Nordgreen for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to check out the link in the description box to get 15% off of your purchase using code Loepsie. There is another video here that I think you might also enjoy. You can go watch next. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you very soon in my next video.